Hello beautiful people out there, my name is Julia. Thank you so much for tuning into this video. Today I'm going to share with you my starseed reading that I have received from Emma from Sacred Earth Offerings. You can find her here on YouTube and also on Instagram, and I shared this already in the video where I did the review for the Oracle of the Hidden Worlds, and I asked if you are interested in me sharing this reading with you, and so he said yes, and this is what I'm going to do today. So maybe you are interested then in a starseed reading as well. And I do think it's quite nice to all of those who are thinking about getting a reading, so you know what to expect. And today this parcel arrived, and I already had the written starseed reading sent to me via PDF, so I know already what's in here. But to have it now in physical form, it's very special, and I'm gonna open it now with you guys. I hope I'm not gonna like do something stupid here. Okay. Oh, I don't want to destroy anything. I hope. Okay. Do you know what I'm thinking? Okay, now I got it. Just thinking, if this is more complicated, I could just press pause and open it myself and get you guys back again when it's open, but there it is already. So what I have done is I actually basically booked like 3 different aspects. So what Emma is doing is that she's doing Vedic astrology, and in the Vedic astrology there are aspects where you can see the most dominant how do you say aspects of certain how do you say this, like Pleiades, Andromedan, Orion. So you see the most dominant aspects in your Vedic chart. Emma, what is this? Oh, it was my birthday. I think that is a little special extra. I remember you said something, so I'm gonna have a look at this later. What is this? So anyway, so in your Vedic astrology you can see basically aspects from which system or which system has the most aspects, and for me that was Orion, Andromeda and Pleiades. So what she's doing then is that she is starting with a painting. She's also an amazing artist, so she started with a painting and is channeling one life of this, like for example Orion existence or Orion incarnation, and then she's channeling the being, and then from that portrait she's channeling the informations of the life, which is super interesting. So, and then you get a painting of the energies and of your being, and you also get the informations of your life. And what was so interesting for me was that I can literally relate to all 3 lives so much, and it's like those aspects do play a part and a role in my life now as well. So that was really amazing. So let's see, what is this? Oh, this is something written. Oh, hello my dear friend. Hi my dear friend. Okay, so here are your starseed paintings. I hope you will enjoy them. Okay, and of course the little gift. Okay, I'm gonna read this letter in detail later, but I want to go and show you the paintings and then actually read the lives. Whoops. I think I will start with the most dominant one, which is the Orion. So I had 3 Orion aspects, and boy can I relate. Oh my god, I don't know where to start. Which one? I know. Oh my god, Emma, I completely forgot about that. So I mean, from the things that I shared with you about Emma, it's quite obvious that she's a pretty amazing person, super talented, highly intuitive, and I completely forgot this one. She basically did my energy. She did a painting of my energy. That was already ages ago. I was still traveling in Europe at that point. Oh my god, and now I have the painting here. This is so beautiful. So what you can also book with Emma is a painting that she is basically channeling your aura and your energy, and then she's doing a reading for you as well. And just look at that. Oh my god, I completely forgot about that. So I feel like this could almost be a different video. So this would be the video of my aura and my energy and what it means. I also have this written somewhere. So this is another thing you can book with her. But now we're getting... Oh, I just... Oh, I want to open it really, but I want to open it. Woohoo! This is so cool. Okay, so you know what? We will start with the first one here. Wow, I've seen those paintings already on the PDF, but it's so cool to have them now here. So this is the Pleiades life, or one of the incarnations that was like a nature spirit that also came to Earth, and basically was then called a fairy queen by some people here on Earth. And this is my Orion incarnation. So this is a male energy, and I extremely resonate actually with this slot. I mean, I resonate with all of them, but I really could see myself in this one as well. And then the Andromeda one also, it's very fairy-like. So what I want to do now is, I have already the PDF open, and I thought I can share with you the just a second, what she channeled for me, so you know what to expect when you want to book a reading here. Okay, does it work? No, just a second. Okay, I got it. So we're gonna come to, again, this, we're gonna go into this life now. This is the Orion life, and the first thing I want to share with you are the traits in general. So if you have aspects, Orion aspects, then you might relate to what I'm gonna say now. So this is interesting for you. So typical traits of Orion starseeds: thirst for knowledge, very focused on learning and knowing, intellectually developed, analytical, asks a lot of questions, wants to know everything, can be quite opinionated, pitch-headed, stubborn in their perceptives, often have a rational and logical approach to emotions, competitive and perfectionistic, very sensitive, often need alone time to process emotions, understand themselves and regain their energy levels. So the past life in Orion. Orion is a place where competition, expansion, moving forward is highly regarded. Whereas on the Pleiades, for instance, it won't matter how far you've come or where you are in comparison to others. You just are where you are. In Orion, they love comparison and measuring success, and see it as something positive when you have reached goals and such. It is not unlike Earth in that way, and like on Earth, duality exists. Masculine, feminine, light, dark, and so on. The being I see you as has a masculine vibration. You had pale green aura and skin and humanoid face. Humanoid? Sorry, sometimes my English is a little bit un-German, as you can tell. Face features. You had a very Uranus vibration, brilliant mind, and was very skilled in coming up with new ideas and business ventures. You sparked ideas all over the place, and your third eye chakra was very open. You had connections and open portals to other dimensions, and through these communicated with other realms. guides and others guides and others, and took inspiration which you then incorporated in your own ideas on Orion. The star I see you connected with here is the middle star of the Orion's belt, called Al-Nilam. That just rings a bell, actually. I felt like I just recently messaged with someone called Nilam. This is a portal star, the one that is a gateway and transmitter of higher frequencies from other galaxies. So it is not surprising that you in this incarnation did just this. You showed promise of being bright-minded early on. As a young Orion, you loved to play, but unlike other children who were a bit more rambunctious and ran around competing in sport, you liked to sit and took apart toys and build them back together. Your father particular took interest and allowed you to play with more proper things, tools and mechanical objects. These you also took apart and tried to understand them, and then used the parts to invent and build improved objects and things. Just gonna need to... Yeah, that's a bit bigger. No, I'm not going to manifest anything here. Reinventions and your mind warped and worked differently because you had open connections to other realms. You had enormous kind eyes, and you were encouraged as you grew to always explore, and so you did. This expanded and evolved into a life where you had an ability to come up with ideas and ways of thinking that others simply didn't think of, and many sought your advice on their businesses and other things to manifest more success. You had a business, in fact you had many businesses, can relate, so many ideas all the time, and you moved quickly ahead when you felt one venture had run its course. One period you built and invented things, you got hired by elders to help improve the infrastructure of your community. After that, your inspiration fell on houses, building sustainable ways of living. After that, improving the way you would take care of nature and agriculture, and so on. You had a focus that was enormous and speed like no other. I do see you having a family, a feminine counterpart and children. Your focus, however, was on your work, on your ideas, almost like a crazy inventor type, and so your partner was more focused on home life and the family. She supported you and you loved her dearly, although sometimes it brought on neglect because you lost yourself in your projects and forgot all else. She was very patient, but sometimes expressed concern and had to draw you away from your work so that you would see your children. It was not that you did not love them or care, you just had this extreme pressure from above to follow your inspiration. You were very grateful to her because without her you would forget to eat. Can relate. I see you writing books, writing down ideas, sitting in your older years, tying down your thoughts. I see a lot of symbols, codes, universal energies being channeled through you into symbols and frames that you write. These would have had to be decoded, and not many had your gifts, so a lot of it was never translated. And then she describes the influences in the current life. This incarnation was very focused on building, putting ideas into physical form, manifesting energy, following your hunches. You excelled at this. In your current lifetime, you will have a knack for ideas, thinking outside the box, seeing what potential there is in business and projects. You will intuitively know what other people have as gifts and what they can do to manifest abundance, excel in their craft, and you will be able to do this yourself. This lifetime and this inspirational flow will help you create abundance in your life, and you will also be skilled at making things happen fast. This is a business mind, a gifted energy. When it comes to putting together ideas and structures in a way, you have very outside the box way of thinking when it comes to how a life should be led. And you will follow your one feeling. No other can sway you when you have set your mind at something. If you have decided on something, it will happen, and it will happen fast. Also, you have bright eyes, and with a pool of cosmic wisdom that others will feel from you. You will also have open communications to other realms. Al-Nilam was the gateway, the portal between dimensions through which very high frequency flowed. Because of this, you have a built-in gift of channeling cosmic knowledge even without knowing it. Others will recognize it, but you might not realize it. Curiosity will be very strong, and fascination for something that will take your interest and be your entire focus for a while before you then move on to the next thing. Yes, not fleetingly, but you will try out things for experience and to enhance your own pool of knowledge, and then turn it into something else that fits your vibration. Reinvention, this is your way, and exactly as it should be. You are meant to show a uniqueness to the world, bridge the gap between realities. I always felt like I'm a bridge. And also gatekeeper came to me, which is quite interesting, thinking about like portals and stuff. You can work extremely hard, and you need to remember to take breaks. I in fact do, but I just love what I do, so it's like, oh, I just want to do it all the time. You can lock on to a project or task and lose track of the rest of the world. That's right. It is a gift but needs balance, so remind yourself to rest. Orion starseeds also need a lot of time on their own so that they may recharge. They are very, very sensitive. True, both. I also feel there may be some self-conscious emotions from this lifetime. Since you knew you were different, it may present itself as insecurity at thinking differently here on Earth too. But remember that bright-minded individuals are deeply needed to move society forward. So, that's the Pleiades life. And this is what you get when you book a starseed reading. And this is basically one aspect. Again, this is me. This was me. This is an aspect of me. I really love it. Just really love the eyes. Just have a look. Okay. So I'm wondering, I think it might, do you know what? I will just do it in one go, and I will write the times of the different star seeds below the video, so you can just at any time skip if you are more interested. For example, in the Pleiades, which is now the next one. So, just gonna come a bit further here. So, Pleiades. So the first information is again the traits of the Pleiades, or Pleiadian starseeds. So if you find yourself in this, you find yourself in this. Love to challenge social and societal norms. Can be very sensitive physically, prone to allergies, food sensitivities. Deeply empathic, can have issues with boundaries, people pleasing. Compassionate, warm, can have healing abilities, love nature and animals, loves love and the physical act of it. Sexuality and sex is very sacred in the Pleiades. They use physical love to work with energies, heal and ceremoniously. Past life on Pleiades. In the Pleiades, you lived on a forested planet. Oh, let me just put it. Okay. Close to the star Alcyon or Alcyon. You were a priestess and spirit of the forest, very heart-centered, humanoid being, but very ethereal, that's the word, right? Tall, slender, light hair and mild in energy, very beautiful. What we would here call fairy or fae. You could step in and out of physical form and walk through portals in the trees, rocks and plants, and you were one with them. I know, they're all my friends, and this is why I have all my babies back again here with me. Such a crystal pick-up person, or a stone and stick pick-up person. Anyway, you and the forest on the planet where you lived shared energy, so you were in constant communication and interaction with it. Your presence nurtured the plant life. Without you, they withered. They also mirrored your emotional state. If you were sad, it rained. If you were happy, the flowers sparkled and bloomed for all their life. If you were angry, storms, clouds gathered and lightning struck. You were a being that was close to nature and mirrored it as it mirrored you. I see you being a guide to souls on earth during this lifetime, and also caring for and nurturing forests on earth in the early days of this planet. You would show yourself to humans walking through forested areas, and when they behaved badly towards nature, you gave them warnings, like ominous energy, or showing yourself and your displeasure very strongly. This had effect on you. This had effect, and you were respected, as they did not quite know what you were. Often you were called Fairy Queen, Fae, Forest Spirit, and so on. You also did energy work through nature and holy spaces of forest to imbue Earth with Pleiadian love energy. You worked with ley lines and Earth nature spirits and the holy people who could see you and commune with you. You had a lot of connections with druids, Celtic priests, but also in Egypt, around those areas. And before that, you were one of the Pleiadian priestess who guided and initiated Lemurian priests and priestesses in the way of working with nature, energy grids, crystals, and so on. This was a calling you held and honored for a long time, and you incarnated over and over to keep going. You visited Earth and helped develop the knowledge of compassion, wisdom of energy, and after the Lemuria fall and after Lemuria fell and Atlantis fell, you have visited souls here as a spiritual guide. Your life on Pleiades was love-filled. You lived with your twin flame love. Okay, I think that might just be a little insider for Emma and me now. Yes, Emma, you know why I'm laughing, because you know my astrological chart. This was very natural, and your focus was greatly on your guiding purpose. You had a feminine energy, although you flowed in between each other fluidly, embodying both masculine and feminine energy, had a similar purpose, so you spend a great deal of time apart focusing on your soul's mission, and then reconnecting for some time to focus on your connection, healing, development, evolution of soul, and to raise your frequencies in love. Your relationship was deeply spiritual, and you could go into a trance-like state in your intimate moments and be in sensual connection with soul and form for ages. Just meditation and floating away together. That sounds actually quite blissful. Oh, I feel that. I feel the whole life. It's amazing. Sexual practice was and is in Pleiades eternally holy, and often used as a way of opening to consciousness and source, and this was your way too, being each other's bridges to deeper connection to source. You had complete trust in the other, so you did not need to be together at all times. You knew where the other was, and you could communicate telepathically. The energy of true love was part of your guiding message, which was why you had to also experience this loving relationship to be able to convey the feeling, total unity within and without. When you eventually came to the realization that your purpose here was finished and you were called to move on to other incarnations, you and your partner spent many years in solitude and embrace, ceremoniously saying farewell until next time. Oh my god, I'm getting emotional. It was both greatly saddening to you both, but also you knew you would reconnect. My feeling is that you have not yet reconnected with this soul on earth. Okay. Influence in current life. From this incarnation, you will have a great and deep connection with nature, everything green and leafy, forests of all kinds and plant life. You can and do talk to trees and flowers, and they mesmerize you, and you can feel how they call on you. I feel like it is almost trance-like for you to gaze at a flower, as if you again can sense an opening to another realm. Your heart will be very open, loving, kind, deeply sensitive, and a natural healing energy will flow from your hands and heart. People will naturally see and feel this from you and may seek you out for help. You may have had a period in your life or from time to time practice boundaries. I know, because your loving nature can attract those who should want to feed off your energy. Remember that you are allowed to say no. You are not a guide at this time around, but your experience of showing people the way as a guide will result in a gift this lifetime for transmuting the answers to them in an understandable way. Oh, this is interesting. I realize this right now in this very moment. And you may find people will want answers from you. You have a gift of guidance, but make sure you are in balance so you are not being drained and used. This is so interesting because on my German channel I just posted a video that so far I haven't done in English, and actually people came to me saying, oh wow, I just understood it now what you're talking about. I've heard it a couple of times now, but now since you said it I understood. So this is quite interesting and really beautiful. Anyway, so you also have such an open heart that you can take on and carry others' griefs, burdens, and hardships for them. Your empathy is so great that you may soak up the pain of others without thinking to ease their pain. Be wary of this so you don't turn yourself into a sponge of pain that is not even yours. You do not have to carry others for them. Their pain is their responsibility. Typical for Pleiadians is also that they have a hard time saying no. They often turn out to be people pleasers because of this and may need some practice. The very mothering tone of Pleiadian star seeds are very attractive to wounded souls. From this lifetime you will also have a very magnetic aura, a sort of light from within that will draw attention to it from both people and animals. You are a beautiful soul, thank you, Emma, and it shines through, beautiful in and out. Because of your affiliation with Lemuria, Egypt, and the northern forests, you might feel very fascinated by these civilizations. In fact, that's true. Living in Avalon, and find yourself reconnecting to old lives when visiting those places. Because nature works as a portal for you, you might travel to other times just by going there now. You are a multi-dimensional soul. Ooh, okay, wow. This is so cool. It's also so cool, and I can just recommend it with the readings as well. Everything where you go to someone who's channeling information to you, may it be through cards or whatever, just really keep on listening to the material, because sometimes it really does make even more sense after a while, and this is great. So next is the little Andromedan being. Okay, this is so cool. Thank you so much, Emma. This is amazing. And this is like so much, like even for me just reading it out it's like half an hour already. But okay, so guys, we are at Andromedan star seeds, and Andromeda, as I've said already, first we see the traits, so that you might find out if you resonate with it already. So the traits for Andromedan star seeds: they love to travel, be free, see new things. Some can be drawn to nomadic life, spending their time on the road. For some Andromedans, this can be a way to achieve spiritual development. Because of their love for freedom, many of them have issues with timekeeping and commitments. I can keep time very well because I grew up in Germany, but the commitment thing, I get it. They don't like being tied down or having to conform too much. A lot of them feel time, as it is on Earth, is a very strange construct. Very protective of their own boundaries, learning that, and deeply sensitive to other people's manipulation and lies. Know other people's intentions, and guilt tripping often makes them feel bad and rebel. They can be very gentle, sweet in disposition and look. These are the starseeds that have had the hardest time grasping why we as humans have to pay to exist or live on Earth. Both Tume and money, as constructs seem very foreign to them, and they generally have issues with structure of control, like money, time, and so on. So now it goes again into my past life. The word that keeps springing into my awareness when tuning into your Andromedan life is healer. I see you as a very loving, benevolent being of feminine energy, but integrated fully in both. When this incarnation showed itself to me, I had a feminine look. It may be symbolic of the nurturing, mothering energy you embody here, and the purpose of this incarnation. The vibration of you here is this. Here as this being, I feel there may well have been more than this in Andromedan star system, is around 6 to 8D. Yeah, fuck 5D. I'm just gonna go up to 8D. That's right. A lot of focus is on heart space acceptance service. You had eyes that communicated very clearly, and I see everything through them. Your eyes spoke, and you were gifted in telepathy and all clear abilities, clairvoyance, clairaudience. When you met someone for healing, you rarely, almost never spoke to them. This was not unusual. On this level of vibration, you would not need spoken words. You communicated energetically. I see you in a monastery or temple-like structure where people would come and visit. The temple has an Asian feel, almost Buddhistic, very open and filled with light, nature outside, natural materials, very warm and inviting. You were not the only soul doing this. There were other sections in the temple, and others like you were in service in different ways. There were oracles, justice councils, counselors of different kinds, spiritual priests, priestesses. You and the other beings who worked, served, like this had been chosen early in life. Yeah, just a second, feel like I need to center this again. You were sitting or hovering in waiting, and when a soul would come to you for balancing, they would be invited to sit in front of you, for you to assess what most they needed. This could take some time, and often they were helped by you to find a relaxed state of meditation as you scanned their energy fields. Full stop. During this time, our communication was telepathic or energetic. As they found relaxed states, you, with great detail, adjusted, cleansed, scanned their fields, and did your energy work to clear and heal what needed healing. It was a very precise, like energetic operation sometime. It was very precise, like energetic operation sometime, and your precision was laser-like. When you finished, you allowed them to stay in a golden white sphere of light. This is so interesting because this is what I did in the cord cutting meditation. So everybody of you who has the cord cutting meditation, I do exactly this. It's a golden white light for healing. This is so cool. I love it. I just love to see those connections and things that I do intuitively. So that's so cool. Okay, back. Focus. Golden white sphere of light to infuse them with healing before bringing them back to awareness. Afterwards, you only gazed deeply into their eyes, and they would know the messages or donations you would give them based on your healing without you having to speak a word. You were revered for your gifts of healing. Your mother had realized your gift early on, and the healer that was before you was good but did not have your precision. Your mother, guardian, went to the monastery to consult, and you were put in training early to help your gifts to flourish. As a child or a young Andromedan, you were a beacon of light, unconditional love shone out of your heart. I am being shown Mary Magdalene as a comparison. That level and energy of divine feminine nurturing love. Lifespan was not calculated like it is on Earth with years, but I feel that you spend a long time doing this. In comparison to Earth, it would be up towards thousands of years. But time was not measured, and when you eventually died, it was not as on Earth either. You did not grow old, but rather you felt and was guided that your time in service was up, so to speak. And then you simply went back into source again, all very peaceful. And the influence on this lifetime, from this incarnation, I feel a strong urge to help others, heal everyone I meet. True. You will also have a gift of seeing others and what they have as burdens, intuitively knowing what may ail them. This may be more or less conscious to you, as Andromedan vibration sometimes is hard to integrate on Earth. The gap between 6 or 8D to human 3D is very wide. So many Andromedan starseeds find it hard to embrace and embody their Andromedan energies on Earth. You will be a free spirit, one who does not like to be tied down in any way. Time constructs is very odd to you, and even though you are a hard worker and take your spiritual purpose and work extremely seriously, it is also important that you are allowed to do it in your own pace and at your convenience. Otherwise, you may feel pressured and want to break free and rebel. This is, yes. Strong intuition and energetic gifts from this lifetime, and you might have felt drawn to work very devoted to spiritually, as in going into a convent sometime during your life. Andromedan starseeds love to roam, travel, experience, and be free. They move deeper into spirituality when they can travel and see new things, find inspiration. You may also be prone to astral travel, moving around in dream state and easily float away in fantasies and dreamscapes. That's it. Okay. Woohoo! That was story time with Emma and Julia. I hope you enjoyed this and maybe it gave you some clarity if you would like to receive a reading like this as well. I can just recommend it. I mean, I'm like completely blown away. It's so cool to see the images, to get the information also how it refers to your life now. And I have to say, I really can relate to basically all of it. And I remember when I was reading it the first time, I literally started crying and I was like, oh my God, I know. And so yeah, that was quite an experience. So thank you so much, Emma, for doing this amazing Starseed reading. Or actually it's like 3 readings, because I wanted to have like all the 3 aspects. I think you can also decide to just have 1 aspect, but I would suggest just messaging her. And yeah, I hope you enjoyed the stories, and I hope you enjoyed the video. If so, give me a like or a comment, or subscribe to the channel, or subscribe to Emma as well. Sending you so much love from Avalon, and I'm looking forward actually to do, hopefully soon, a few more card readings for you guys. And so much love from Avalon.